Today, I am going to give you an overview of my most popular mock ever. This build has over 7 million views combined on Instagram and TikTok, so let's take a deep dive into the build. Looking at the front of the building, you can see it's relatively simple with the white awning using the 1x4 bow slopes. You have a large storefront window with the custom printing, and then the overall color theme of the dark red and the masonry bricks with the medium nougat detailing throughout. I've also added a custom printed road sign as well as some sand blue accents around the door to tie in with the other side of the building. The second floor features a relatively straightforward window design where I've set the windows back one stud and then I've used 1x6 arches in dark red as well as modified slopes in dark red just to create a little bit of extra detail around the windows. And as we start to turn the corner of the building, you can see it becomes a bit more interesting. Here you can see some of the details such as the ivy, the drain pipe, the sewer grate, and then also the windows in the same style as they are on the second floor. Now, without a doubt, the most striking feature of the build is the amount of ivy. When I was building this, I wanted the ivy to function more as an architectural element rather than just simple landscaping. To do this, I used a few different angled bars so that the ivy would pop off the building and feel a little bit more three-dimensional. And I also just added as much as I could in every little area that was available. Looking closer at the facade, you can see that I've used some sand blue ingots and 1x2 modified bricks with the grill in sand blue just to add a little bit of detail. But I think my favorite part usage is when I use the Thor hammers along the doorway. To do this was really simple. I just stacked headlight bricks with 1x1 plates in between and then just pushed the hammers through the open stud. Taking a look at the second floor, you can see I've continued the sand blue color scheme, but I've added 2 small window boxes just to add a little bit of splash of color with the landscape. One of the other main features of the building is that it is built at an angle. If you caught my interview with Beyond the Brick, then you might have heard me mention that this building footprint is actually an exact replica of the corner garage's footprint. Now moving to the back corner of the building, you can see here that I have a curved window topped with a curved balcony. Obviously, I've not yet completed the interior. And the second floor balcony is relatively simple, but it has a nice angled doorway, 3 rounded slopes for an awning, as well as some minifigure legs for the balcony detail. And although this is the back side of the building, it is still a really fun side of it. You can see I've got my custom printed Shroot Farm sticker, as well as an exhaust pipe where a bird has decided to make a little nest. I actually loosely borrowed this idea from the Daily Bugle set. But one of the main features of the build that I've actually never shown off online is the fact that this wall opens up in a dollhouse style. Now, obviously, this would be much more impressive if there was an interior to look at, but eventually, like I said, that will be the plan, and I think this will actually be a really fun aspect of the build. So this side of the second floor is where my infatuation with using minifigure legs as window detailing first began. You can see I have them running up alongside the sand blue windows, and then I also have a sand blue mudguard element to help frame out the rest of the window. So when I designed the roof, I wanted to make sure it didn't take away from the overall build and actually felt more like an accent. So I built a simple gray parapet wall with this curved tile detailing. I added some dark gray tiling on top, and then I finished with these little statuettes for just a little bit more detail. You can see here too, like a lot of the builds in my Lego City, I added a rooftop dining sink, and then I also added some potted plants. So looking at this build as a whole, it's actually the least compatible with the rest of my city because it really wasn't designed to be a European or Italian inspired building. So I am making some modifications in the city to try to make it feel a little bit more integrated. If you want to see what those are, stay tuned for tomorrow's city update, and we'll see you next time.